interaction, you measure the website interaction, but none of us care about that, right? We just want like, what's the one experience that shows up and are things working correctly or not? So we help bring all of that together using AI.
Yeah. Delta's an interesting one because airlines you don't always think of airlines as like the best customer experience, but how are they using AI in interesting, innovative ways?
I mean, they're an interesting brand because they're in a commodity business. It's the same metal, it's the same airports that they use, right? You see what makes the ultimate difference, and they focused first on enabling their people, right? And how do you scale the culture, the value of how their people show up on the front line, the gate, the gate agent, the flight attendant, the person that's in the call center supporting you, and then you step back and say, okay, understanding the moments that matter the most across your interaction with Delta, and being able to have consistency in not repeating the things you may have not done right, or being in a position to be more proactive when things don't go right. Scaling that ultimately builds deeper loyalty. It drives premium, it drives growth, and not surprisingly, as a company, if you compare all the airlines around the world, they're not the biggest, but they're the most profitable, fastest growing on a consistent basis, and all of that comes down to experience. What we are seeing in our data, we have about 17,000 customers around the world today, and we have about 30% of those customers have adopted some AI capability in our platform. Of our top 50 customers, our largest ones, 90% of them are using AI capability. But the magic of AI comes to life when you actually focus on contextually applying it to pragmatic problems on a daily level. Not chasing, revolutionizing the world, but rather saying, hey, just reduce the friction of this part of the experience. Get specific to the domain, whether it's a hospitality experience, a restaurant experience, an e-commerce experience, and be able to do things more efficiently, but also do it in the right way, in the way that your brand wants to express itself in those moments of delight or moments of fixing things. And that's where we see traction getting, is the more you actually end up applying AI to use cases that are everyday pragmatic things, the faster you actually create pragmatic ROI, and then you can build on that. Prototype something or come up with an idea, instead of sitting there and say, I'm gonna go build a slide or PowerPoint on something as a product manager, you're now making it more easy for someone to actually do coding themselves without knowing how to do coding. So the expectation of being focused on new creative thought, the expectation of actually getting closer to what people are trying to solve is higher than ever now, because the tools are actually just raising in their capability set. So every role inside of an organization becomes more capable because you essentially have an assistant that's working with you. And as that assistant gets to know you, through your patterns and the information you're using, you're going to become more effective at your job.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic question. I do think you have to have a general appreciation, understanding of how computational systems work. You need at least a taste of like, what does it take to build and process data and build a model, be able to have it go do something. But the real value will be in the next level of understanding people. And so arts will matter. I think understanding sociology, humanities will matter, anthropology will matter. Understanding what drives how people might want to experience the world differently, being able to understand how to communicate and connect with people, because a lot of the more remedial tasks are going to become easier to get done, and that will open up the opportunity to, I think at the end of the day, AI will make people more human, because we'll spend more time on the higher level value of things, and more of the repetitive things will become automated over time. With data and build a model and be able to have it go do something. But the real value will be in the next level of understanding people. And so arts will matter. I think understanding sociology, humanities will matter, anthropology will matter. Understanding what drives how people might want to experience the world differently, being able to understand how to communicate and connect with people, because a lot of the more remedial tasks are going to become easier to get done, and that will open up the opportunity to, I think at the end of the day, AI will make people more human, because we'll spend more time on the higher level value of things, and more of the repetitive things will become automated over time.
Yeah. Well, it's an optimistic note to end on. Thank you so much. Fascinating conversation.
Thank you very much.